So Christians must learn to tackle the hot-button political issues with both wisdom and compassion. I'm going to make a generalization here. It's probably an overgeneralization, but I think you're going to be able to see the thread of what I'm talking about. So here's the generalization. For Christians on the left or on the right, here's what it seems. Those on the left hold compassion as a higher value than wisdom. And those on the right hold wisdom as a higher value than compassion. That doesn't mean I'm saying that those on the right lack compassion. That doesn't mean that those on the left lack wisdom. I'm saying that there's an emphasis, there's a starting point for each side, typically. It's a generalization, okay? All right, so let's just take some examples of that. Let's take immigration. So on the left would say, we need to help. Like if it was you and you were in another country and life was hard and you were stuck, wouldn't you want to seek a better life? We need to do something about this. And then on the right, it's, yeah, but it's not going to work and it's going to create some safety issues for us. Well, what does the Bible say? The Bible says, welcome the stranger as a native among you, but also you look through the Old Testament and God commands Israel to set up borders and even walls. All right, so you need compassion and you need wisdom. Hold the tension of the two. What about the gender debate? So those on the right would say, we can't have men going into women's bathrooms and we can't have men in women's sports. And the left says, okay, but like, can't we just let people be happy? Can't we just give them space for that? What does the Bible say? The Bible says that God created humanity, male and female, and God created them male and female on purpose because he's wise and he has a plan. But then the Bible also says, seek the joy and happiness of the city that you're in, the flourishing of the city and all of the people. So we're fighting for everybody to have the joy and happiness that they find in God. Both have to be held in tension. And there's this higher level of being a human that the Christian is called into. And you don't find that higher level until you experience the pain of another and where they're at. But then what does it mean to be lifted up out of the pain? All right, let's take taxes and the poor. The left would say we can't leave people like this. We need to do something. We need to act. And the right would say, but they're taking advantage of the system. And the Bible says, commands, take care of the poor. But it also says if someone's not willing to work, you don't help them. There's like a wisdom and a compassion here. And here's my goal, is that we as Christians would learn to navigate these things with both wisdom and compassion. Because our tendency is to hold on to one more than the other. And, well, this is funny, so let's lighten it up a little bit. So this is what I hear sometimes. And you know, we as Christians tend to be kind of quiet sometimes about our political views. So I had some friends that we were at my house, and they didn't know this about each other, but one was on the right, one was on the left, and the Republican says, I just don't understand how someone could be a Christian and a Democrat. I'm like, oh man, well, someone here is one. So, and then he was like, well, I'm one. And then it created this really funny, awkward situation that I got to laugh at, but they worked through, and it's good. So then at the same time, I hear people who are on the left say, I don't understand how someone could be a Christian and a Republican. And so what's happened there? Well, they're emphasizing a certain value of Christianity over the others. But I think the Christian is called to emphasize both compassion and wisdom. Hold both to them, mercy and justice.